Investors are hoping for a turnaround this morning after 3 losing days in a row. The Dow Jones Industrials fell 268 points on Wednesday. It was the Dow's worst day since early October.
Analysts say falling oil prices driving stocks down. The average price of crude oil is now at a 5-year low. CBS News financial contributor and analyst Mellody Hobson joins us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
So what's going on?
So it starts with China. Slowing growth in China has had a fall-on effect in terms of commodities, and we've seen it play out in a big way in terms of oil, but other commodities as well.
So if there's not enough demand, then those prices go down? Well,
the demand is one side of the equation, but the supply is the other side. And supply in America has been amazing. In just 6 years, America has reduced its dependency on foreign oil by 50%. That means that the oil cartel, OPEC, doesn't have the control and power that it had before. And so while everyone resets here, we've seen a very sharp drop in oil prices.
You know, it's interesting to see the government is predicting that gas will be about $2.60 a gallon next year. That's going to save drivers $100 billion. I mean, there's pieces in the paper today about it's $25 a week in people's paycheck. That's a lot of money. But what's the downside to falling oil and crude prices?
So the downside, I actually believe, is short term, and that is for oil companies themselves.
Which is why the market, oil and crude is the reason the market really fell.
Exactly. So they represent about 10% of the S&P 500. Their stocks are down 50% this year. They have to right-size themselves now. Just a year ago, these companies were booming. So it's been this fast fall that has caused the problem. But over the intermediate term, this will be a boon to the American consumer. Think of it like a form of economic stimulus.
Yeah, like a tax cut almost. Yeah.
Absolutely. For every 1 penny that gas prices fall, it's $1 billion in spending.
What's the prediction for the future of the Chinese economy if it's having the kind of impact you say?
Well, here's the thing. Remember, they're still growing at about 7%. This is huge. It's just not the double-digit growth that we saw a few years ago where they were at 14%. The prediction is that we will still see this kind of growth in China, but it won't be this explosive growth that we saw. So again, everyone is right-sizing themselves at this point.
But in the U.S., we still have the recovery we had hoped for.
Yes, and the U.S. is expected to do what it's doing, which is slow but steady growth. And Europe is expected to be a slow grower as well. So the bigger story hasn't changed. The global multinationals are in great shape. The U.S. companies are in great shape. So I'm not that worried.
Yeah, really interesting. Mellody Hobson, thank you so much.